All right, so you found some fun pop culture news that we're diving into today. And it got me thinking about like celebrity families
Mm.
and how how those legacies kind of get passed down.
We're looking at rapper Eminem becoming a grandpa for the
Yeah.
first time, which is
It's pretty wild.
pretty wild.
Yeah, and it's been interesting to see how this news has, you know, kind of spread beyond just like the typical, oh, new baby excitement, you know?
Yeah.
Like we're really getting this glimpse into how families
And especially like famous families change over time.
and our main source today is TMZ. They've been
Yeah.
covering the story quite a bit.
So TMZ is reporting that Eminem's daughter, Hailie Jade Scott, and her husband, Evan McClintock, they're having a baby boy.
That's right, yeah, and they announced it.
Like a very modern way, right? Like,
Haley's got her own podcast now
Okay.
called Just A Little Shady.
oh, I love that.
It's pretty great.
It's fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, so
Just a little shady. Love it.
and they did a whole gender reveal thing, like
On the podcast, which,
wow.
yeah, very 2024.
Fair 2024 for sure.
Yeah, and it seems like, like that title, just a little shady. Yeah, really?
Like it just stood out to me, you know? It just is so clever. That
Yeah.
play on words with, her dad's whole Slim Shady thing.
Right.
It makes you think about how like Gen Z, even when they're,
Coming from these really famous families, they're still finding ways to,
sort of create their own thing, by like referencing.
but also kind of riffing on the generation before them.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
That's a really good point.
It's more than just a cute name. It's like a statement about,
Totally.
their family, their whole dynamic.
Exactly.
And TMZ had some details about the reveal itself,
Oh, yeah.
about the balloon filled with blue confetti. So pretty classic.
I gotta say.
But Evans seems really excited. Already talking about taking his son,
Hunting and golfing, all that stuff.
Oh, those like classic dad things, right? Those
Yeah.
bonding rituals.
Exactly. And TMZ even mentioned that.
Haley was like, don't worry, I'm still going to take him shopping.
Ah.
At Target, at least.
At least the Target. Gotta get those onesies.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. You know what else I thought was interesting about all this?
What's that?
This news actually kind of broke a week earlier.
Oh.
Well, indirectly at least.
Eminem was in a music video, and he was gifted a Grandpa Detroit Lions jersey.
And a sonogram picture?
Oh, yeah, I saw
I
that.
remember that, yeah.
What do you think was going through his head? Like,
I know. It's like you just can't.
it's hard to imagine, right?
It's like this whole other layer to the story, right?
Totally.
This very public figure dealing with this very personal thing.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder how this is going to affect his music.
I know.
We've seen other artists explore fatherhood.
Or even grandfatherhood through their work.
That's true. Yeah, it's a big life change.
Yeah.
Big time life change.
Do you think we're going to hear some softer Eminem tracks
Who knows?
inspired by Grandpa? Grandpa Eminem.
I mean, anything is possible.
Yeah. Something to ponder for sure.
But for now, like, what stands out to you the most?
About this whole story with Haley.
You know what I think is really interesting is how,
Like, she's really forging her own path,
yeah,
but she's doing it while still acknowledging, like,
your family's legacy.
it's not like she's shying away from it, but
Yeah.
she's not riding her dad's coattails either,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what I was saying about the podcast name too. It's like this cool way of saying, yeah, this is where I come from,
Yeah.
but I'm doing my own thing.
And I think that's something we're seeing.
More and more with like celebrity kids these days,
Yeah, that's a good point.
they're creating their own platforms, like you said,
Mhm.
referencing that legacy, but ultimately
Yeah.
telling their own stories, which is,
It's cool. It's a cool dynamic.
it's fascinating to watch.
It is. Yeah, definitely fascinating.
Well, listeners, sounds like we have a new generation.
To keep our eye on.
Who knows? Maybe little baby McClintock will have his own podcast one day.
Maybe. You never know.
Just a little shadier.
Huh. Just a little shadier. I love it.
All right. That's it for today's deep dive. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next episode. We'll be back soon with more fascinating stories and insightful analysis. See you next time.
Avocados.